Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome back to Let's Level Every Class, the World of Warcraft War Within series, episode 5. Episode 5 everyone, and y'all caught me at an interesting time. We are time walking in a brand new dungeon that I've never done before. But shoutouts to everybody here, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Top right corner of the screen is going to be a playlist card which will take you directly to this character's specific leveling journey. And throughout the video and all videos yet to come, there'll be other playlist cards that will take you directly to other characters and their specific characters' leveling campaign. So we have Human Warrior Malakiel, Blood Elf Paladin Valera, Void Elf Monk Nova Zaru, Draenei Shaman Morame, Death Knight, Jovi Quinn, Human Death Knight Jovi Quinn, and many more characters to come. I'm telling you, at some point I'm gonna trip on this little intro that I've come up with, because at one point it's gonna be like 14 characters, and I'm just gonna be like, all right, I can't do it anymore. Sorry, y'all. Outside of just putting up I don't know, maybe a pinned comment, or you know, just putting the characters, you know, their playlists in the description, which is always the case. But here we are, family. Now, I've heard this dungeon in particular, I've heard a lot of good about, and there's a lot going on here in terms of AoE compatibility. So, let's see how this works, because so far we're not really doing the best here. Our healer's barely surviving. Once the healer's down, yep, there we go. Tank's gonna be next. This is definitely not the way we kind of want to start, but it's alright, we'll get through it as time goes. And I just got doinked. All good though, all good, family. Let's run it back. Just because we didn't have the best immediate intro to this dungeon does not mean we give up. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about this one. This one I think is a fan favorite, or a community favorite, I guess. So looking forward to testing my AoE capabilities here. Like I said, this is going to be a first for me. Never done this one before. But looks like we got a good, a nice little diverse group here. So let's see how we do.
Watch your step. Phase 2.
You die with me.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Interrupt. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Interrupt. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Interrupt.
Master, gonna build me a...
Servants of Yasma are not welcome here.
Kill ads.
My claws will find your
Dispel boss. Take
You
damage.
do not belong here.
Kill ads.
My claws will find your heart.
Dispel boss.
You
Take
do
damage.
not belong here.
Kill ads.
My claws will find your heart.
Dispel boss.
Must be cleansed.
My thanks for killing the priestess. You have only succeeded.
Break line of sight. Break line of sight.
Dazar was a powerful Loa. Perhaps you will make a worthy sacrifice for Zul.
Dazar will awaken soon, but you will not live to
Interrupt.
see it.
Run out.
I will tear your soul apart.
Watch your step.
I'm out of range.
Interrupt. Interrupt. Watch your step. Run
I will
out.
tear your soul apart.
Interrupt. Watch your feet.
Zul will rip your spirits apart. Power to the Forsaken!
Family, I'm gonna be honest, that was a pretty cool dungeon. We did end up fainting on the first boss encounter as well. So overall, I guess we can just go ahead and call it 2 group wipes. But other than that, the group stayed around. We did the best we could, and ultimately, I think we did a fantastic job with resources given. But we are here back in Silverpine Forest. I've got quite a bit of tasks ahead of me yet to take care of. And I think we're going to go ahead and do that. So we've got quite a bit to take care of on the south end. Just a few little things. And then I'm not 100% sure. I'm thinking when we complete Silverpine, we're just going to go ahead and head over down to Hillsbrad. Hillsbrad seems like it's going to be the better decision yet to go. And of course, salty sea dog navy dudes. So, you always can trust the navy dudes. You can always trust them to either be really incredibly due diligent, and then the opposite side of that, the opposite side of that handle is incredibly tired and lazy. And third wipe of the dang, 3 wipes. It's been a while since I've had that many wipes in one VOD, but it's all good. So how y'all enjoying the Forsaken series thus far? I personally am still trying to find my way with Mage a little bit here. I think it's just going to get better. It's going to get better over time. I'm getting used to the core fundamentals of it, getting used to a lot of different neat little tricks of the trade with the new abilities that it's given. But ultimately, still trying to find my way. But all good. Also, just wanted to say a very quick shout out to everybody that's been keeping up with the channel posts tab. I definitely try to be as frequent. I try to be as active on the channel posts tab as well, at least once a week or whatnot. Whatever basically kind of comes to mind and whatever I can decide, you know, topic wise, or just get some feedback in general feedback. The recent post I had was pretty neat in the sense of I was trying to figure out, because we have a total of 13 classes in World of Warcraft on the retail side of life, right? So we've got a total of 13, and a warband you can have at maximum, I think, 64 characters in one warband, which is very cool, which basically means that the Let's Level series retail side wise is, you know, I can go as long as I need to, you know, I can extend it, you know, definitely for years, but so far I'm thinking it's going to be at least 4 seasons, and that's going to be very fun. But to avoid a whole lot of repetition, I wanted to see what others felt like. What are some race/class combinations that y'all think would be really cool and suited for a series? You know what? It could be anything, really. It truthfully could be anything. Could be any of the expansion races, such as the Kultaran or the mechanized gnomes, whatever. You know, just what would you guys like to see for like a future VOD? What classes and race combinations do y'all think would make for a good series? And trust me, everything y'all do is taken into all constructive feedback is taken into account it's taken into account very seriously, because I really respect everybody's opinion, and I really try my best to make sure that if y'all make a recommendation, I at least give it like a test run, and then it's like, okay, I can definitely enjoy doing this, and then I just do it, you know. So who's to say? Because the running gag right now of the channel is I guess I hate gnomes. That's just something. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things. I do hate gnomes, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't necessarily play one. I guess it just has to be a combination that I'm going to enjoy playing. I think it'd be interesting, you know. I think it'd be interesting to discover the backstory behind Gnomergan, the uprising with the little goblin takeover and whatnot. Same thing with playing the goblins. You know, I think it'd be very interesting to see like how the goblins escaped their little harbor area and then came over to the Horde side or whatever. You know, I'm down for anything. So definitely try to keep an eye on the post tab, because it helps me future plan, I guess that's the best way I can describe it. It helps me get a general idea of like what y'all would like to see. But right now, rocking the Forsaken Mage, it's really a homecoming, man. For me, it really is kind of a homecoming. I said this with the Blood Elf, you know, when we were doing Valera series, and that stands true too. But I just love being in the Eastern Kingdoms on the north side of life, the northwest side of life. I love being out here, man. Silverpine Forest, getting to see all the differences. You know, Fenris Isle we escaped from, so it's cool to see that the Worgen, or you know, the sub-faction of Gilnea, of like Gilnea citizens, and the Worgen took that isle over from the Gnolls. It's cool to see that for the most part, we pretty much, you know, the Horde and the Forsaken pretty much still have a good control over Silverpine, which thankfully I kind of held my breath for a second there. I didn't think we kind of did, but it's cool to see. And there's a lot of activity. One thing I gotta give retail a lot of credit here, because the streamlining of how these quests blend in from one like from one stage to the other, is really, really nice. Like nothing feels out of place. You know, back in Classic, oh my goodness, that is a gigantic army right there. Okay. That's not working. Okay, now it's working, Okay, I guess I had to wait till they got in the water, I mean, for whatever reason. Oh, this is totally payback. This is payback for what the SI agents and the Alliance did to us, did to the Horde back in when we did Void Elf Nova Zaru. I think it was episode 1 when the orcs were trying to swim to shore, and they just completely annihilated them. Completely annihilated them. Yeah, this is payback, Alliance. I haven't forgotten. And we got a dungeon queue. Do I take it? I kind of want to take it. Yeah. I do want to take that. We'll see what we get. Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll get like a Scarlet series. I'm feeling a Scarlet run, y'all. Totally feeling a Scarlet run. Well, family, no such luck on Scarlet. However, we did get the Foulspore Caverns, aka Moradin Part 1. This is the first stage of Moradin that most players in Classic would go to. You do Foulspore and Caverns, then you have that, the Satyrs. I forgot what the second part, honestly, of Moradin was called, but it's the one with a whole bunch of Satyrs and magic, and honestly, it's terrible. This isn't much better, but let's see how this version is on retail. I don't recall ever doing this version or doing Moradin outside of Earthsong Falls. We have done that on a few characters thus far in the Let's Level series, but we have not done one specifically for Foulspore and Cavern. So let's see how this one goes. And if y'all are enjoying the content, maybe consider tossing the video a like, comment for constructive feedback, and subscribing to the channel if and only if I've earned that trust. Shoutouts to Ezekiel, Mohammed, Kutz, Lulu, Ajelap, Jacob, and Dan. Shoutouts to y'all, the members of the Void fam. Y'all are amazing. You all keep this channel going, serve as a good inspiration point for me. And again, constructive feedback. Y'all want to see a specific class or race combination? Just let me know. Post in the comments or something. Otherwise, I'm just kind of coming up with all of them on the fly, or at least what I think would make what I think would be like enjoyable. Like I try to throw the combinations on a just notebook or whatever. Just try to write them down and just try to see like, would this make for an interesting series? Would this not make for an interesting series? Do I think that this would be overdoing it a little bit? Do I think it'd be a little bit repetitive? You know, every constructive criticism, critique, and recommendation is taken very seriously. Just let y'all know. But shout outs to y'all. Shukran as always. This brings back memories, and especially as a mage, man. The only saving grace right now is we have a lot of AoE capability here, and it's helping eliminate all these groups. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe some of my veteran players help me out here. Which part of Moradin had the death pole, the infamous death pole, where a lot of these, I think it was like on the side of the cave, and there's one part where if you were not careful, it basically was the death of the group. It was basically going to be a wipe. And it was like, the only thing I can remember was on the side of the cave, and it was just all those vines. There's like 2 groups of the vines that are like not like super close in proximity, but if you did it right, you can pull the one group. I can't remember. I don't think it's in this one. I don't think it's in Foulspore and Caverns. I think it's actually in the second half of Moradin, because it's definitely not in Earthsong Falls. But level 37, excuse me, level 32. I was gonna say level 37. Ooh, excuse me. We're jumping ahead of ourselves a little bit. Not that we won't hit 37 relatively soon, but. And first boss of the dungeon. This guy's not too bad, and I believe he drops a interesting. I can't remember if it's a trinket or if it's an orb, but it's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty decent. Let's go ahead and get our clones out, get some extra damage. Got invalid target. It's always fun. Pop a blizzard. There we go. Now we're doing it. Now we're being a good mage. We're feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Noxian. Is it Noxian's orb? I think it is. Let's see what we got. Hey, there we go. Yeah, there it is. How about that? Speak and it shall happen. Spoken it to an existence. That's actually a pretty decent pickup for a few different classes, if I recall correctly. For those of y'all that play Classic more so than Retail, that's actually a pretty good drop, the Heart of Noxium. Definitely recommended. And shoutouts to this Fox race. I keep forgetting their names, but these, anytime I'm in a group with these with any players that are playing the little Fox race, it's actually really cool to see. Like, I genuinely enjoy seeing them in action. Like, if they're running around as a hunter or a warrior, it's pretty cool to see them. Razor Lash. I used to call them Razor Slash. I always have a tendency to add an extra letter to some bosses' names, and it's not even there. It just sounds better to me. But this is the final part. This is the final boss of this part of Moradin, and good job to this team. Honestly, that wasn't that bad. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer and a little bit worse. If you don't get Ursong Falls, Moradin could be a very big hit or miss. But level 33, Bismillah. Excellent job, team. Great teamwork there. I mean, we got there relatively quickly. Again, I don't know if it's just a retail thing, like exclusively, but it feels like with the revamp of a lot of dungeons, and I'm not too sure if this, like Foulspore Caverns, I'm not too sure if that one got a revamp itself, but it definitely feels like for retail, and again, could just be the abilities, could be how the mechanics work in retail, but dungeons go a lot faster, even if they're even if they're on the bigger side. Because I remember Foulspore in Classic is a lot bigger and a lot longer than what we just did. We were in and out relatively easily. But good job to the team. That's one thing I love about doing dungeons. I'm a dungeoneer fanatic in World of Warcraft. It's my favorite aspect of the game. But I just love getting in there and just seeing the differences. And if you have a good group and just even if they're not the most experienced group, but you're running through it together and you're just getting through it. Once you beat the first boss and you get through the hurdle, like anybody that's ever done Dire Maul. Dire Maul is a great example. If you don't get the I can't remember its name, where you beat the final boss of Dire Maul. If you don't get that one, but you get Dire Maul, West? If you get that corridor or that wing, it's not as enjoyable. You don't get a real, some drops are worse than others. Retail, not so much. Classic, yeah. I mean, Classic you definitely want to avoid some of the bosses if at all possible. Like Dire Maul is just a series. Like you've got so many parts to it. Strathholm, another good example. But Strathholm is a little bit different because both sides you definitely want to do. Both sides are worth it. Scarlet series, when you're going through the graveyard, the library, graveyard, library, armory, and then the cathedral itself. You want to do each part, but if you queue up and you get the graveyard, or somebody says, "Hey, can we do graveyard real quick? I just need to clear," and you're just like, shucks. But when you have a good group, it almost doesn't matter what dungeon you're doing. You know what I mean? Like if you're just doing a dungeon with a good group or just running it with a group of friends, it just makes it's just that much more enjoyable, I've found. So I'm finding that in retail, even if I see the dungeon, like last time we had Oldemon, and I was like, I was dreading myself. And that was the classic version of Oldemon. Like it was the long version of Oldemon where really there's only like 2 bosses that drop something of relevance. But I didn't really care about the drops. I just cared about the clear. And even in Classic, when I played Classic a lot, I cared more about the clear than I did the drops. Like, I would be passing on stuff that realistically I should have been looting on. But it's all good. Just something I've noticed. Do I want to equip that robe? I'm looking at it, and the stats definitely are a little bit better. It's just that, you know, we get in and out of transmog. I mean, I may as well, right? Yeah, I'd get rid of the tier 2 look, but the stats are better. Ooh, no. Not feeling that at all. It's not the worst look I've ever seen, but I'm not feeling that at all. Oh, that's even worse, dude. That's even worse. The mustard robes. Oh, no. Ah, dang it, man. The mustard robes. I did not think I'd ever see these things again, but here I am. A decade later. A decade later, I'm here with the mustard robes. All right, so fun little story. So one critique, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but one critique I have to give WoW in comparison to a game like Final Fantasy XI or such, because they both are older MMOs, right? So WoW, I wish mages and spellcasters had more gear selection that is like involves more of a better looking top with some good leggings and a good like waist piece and such, not just like a robes. Like, yes, keep the robes in it. It fits the theme, fits the vibe, fits the fantasy. But like in Classic, that's all you pretty much have. Like as mages and such, you just have robes until you get your tier gear and such. There's not really like a good leggings piece and such, like all those good nice little transmog pieces. Like again, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this, but like Dragonflight had some beautiful transmog pieces for mages. Like if you want to rock a good leggings piece with good legs with a good waist that makes you look like you're absolute badass looking mage and stuff without just like looking like this, like a mustard robe, it's out there. It's totally out there. I'm not rocking the mustard robes here. It's a classic, but there are some really nasty color schemes for spellcasters specific for robes, or specific to robes in Classic. Oh man, you would just you could get lucky and get like some pretty bland ones, or you can get the mustard, or like there's like this one in Classic that I hated so much. It was like this awkward green color scheme. It was like a light green with a light purple type of color scheme. It almost looked like the Joker or like a Green Goblin type of look, and it was nasty. It was just like you were just like a walking eyesore. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just I wish there was just a little bit for the early game. That's it, just the early game. But I guess transmog exists, you know, so it's kind of like it's kind of like I have the answer to the solution. I just don't want to do it right now. Mustard robes, but it's better in stats, so we'll keep it rocking.
We are the Forsaken. We will slaughter anyone who stands in our way. What joy is there in this curse?
You know, speaking, I don't know, man. I just had some cool thoughts. But like, speaking of like the Mustard Mage robes, we'll call it the Mustard Mage. I'm instantly having flashbacks to like Paladin Tier 1, the banana set. Legends. Shoutouts to all you veterans that rock the Paladin Tier 1. I couldn't. I don't know if I could. I think I could now just for nostalgia's sake, but every class really has like that one tier set that you're just like, what on earth are we doing here? Nice ambush, dude. I was checking my polos there, but nice ambush. Like if you're a Paladin, like Tier 1, I mean, it's still legendary, you know? Warriors, Tier 1 looks okay. Their Tier 2 obviously looks better. A lot of classes, Tier 2 looks really good. Priest, Tier 1 is like S tier for me. Rogue, Tier 1, I prefer in comparison to like Tier 2. Druids tier 1 is beautiful. Honestly, Druids, you know, Druids had a lot of good, great looking armor sets. Druid tier 4? Like, are you kidding me? Tier 4 looks beautiful. Warlock can be kind of hit or miss. I think Shaman struggled. Yeah, I want to say like Shamans really struggled at first because like you had tier 1, which was like the molten lava with like the purple, which just, I don't know, it looks out of place. Tier 2 looked a little bit better. I think a lot of classes tier 3 missed the mark. Paladins specifically definitely missed the mark. Although a lot of people will debate me on that one. You kind of, you know, you go from looking like go from an S tier, tier 2 to a F tier, tier 3. You look like a Gundam, you know? You don't even look like a Paladin. Oh, are we gonna raid this cavern? Heck yeah, let's do it. For the Forsaken, baby. Master Fortescue, the Horseman. Following him all the way down into... Why are there no Worgen here? So we just got done slaughtering a whole bunch of Worgen. There's not... Oh boy, this is not good. This is a trap, clearly. Alright, well, we have time to escape. Oh, hey, how about that? Well, that's kind of unfortunate. I mean, it wasn't as epic as I thought it was going to be. I thought the whole honestly, this whole cavern and tunnel would be, like, we would all be succumbing right now to lack of oxygen and a completely, well, honestly, I probably would have been killed by the rubble alone. But looks like the Worgen had something up their sleeve, and they kind of pre-planned out what we were going to do.
What are we if not slaves to
Fortunate hazard of warfare. They were one step ahead of us, and we didn't think enough in time. But we were saved because we're the cameramen and we're the main protagonists of the story. Therefore, we don't die necessarily, at least not yet. I say that, and I fainted I wiped 3 times in this video alone. Oh, not this again. I could have easily just... Look how awkward this is. I'm getting dragged by Arthura, excuse me. Getting dragged by the Valkyrie here. Look how awkward this is. And look at Malakia. She's just like completely stone-faced. Dude, this is silly. This is completely silly. I appreciate a free flight over to the southern... Oh, wow. Is that this is Gilneas, isn't it? Are we going to be taking over Gilneas? We're going to be raiding the city? Heck yeah, dude. Let's take it straight to them. Oh, that's Pyrewood Village. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. Now it's coming to me. Now it's coming together. That's Pyrewood Village. Dude, I used to get eliminated, and I mean eviscerated by the elites. Gosh, I remember trying to do it as a level 15 and just being smacked like nothing. Nice. Now we're talking some warfare conflict. Commander Belmont, I'm reporting for duty. Your Mustard Mage is reporting for duty. Gilneas, the city to the south. So it looks like we got a little bit of high ground here, but they still have the fortified city. That'll be nice if we're going to end up raiding it. But let's also go ahead and see if I can queue us up for at least one more dungeon, maybe 1 or 2. And it's raining. I love it. I love when it's raining in video games. I don't know what it is, but rainy weather, as long as it's not storming, because then I'm prone to migraines. But other than that, if it's raining, I love it. It completely sets the tone and the setting, and especially on a conflict zone and an actual hot zone. Heck yeah. Belmont, what's the orders? We gotta go. Okay, I see. Look at that. Gilneas right to this. Look at the Forsaken with the boom cannons. Heck yeah. The little rifle sound. The little rifle cannon things that shoot like I don't know, pellets. I almost forgot to grab this quest too. I didn't realize this one was here. Oh, another Mustard Mage. Look at that. Hey, we had the same idea. And he's a Blood Elf. You go, dude. The FCD, Forsaken Communication Device. Well, it's not modern technology in this era of Warcraft. I mean, technically the gnomes had their technological boom. The goblins had theirs in Tenaris, and looks like we're going to be grabbing some of those, utilizing the communication device, because we're out in the, basically we're scouting right now, so we're pretty far out in the conflict zone. We'll see how this goes. Ooh, got a queue. What are we gonna get? What are we? Ragefire Chasm. Yes, dude. Ah, nice. Ragefire Chasm RFC. A Horde player's first journey into dungeons. This is for many the very first dungeon that many of us would partake in. The first dungeon that, for the Horde side, this is the very first dungeon you're introduced to. It's deep in the crag in Orgrimmar, literally in the heart of pretty much the heart of Orgrimmar for the time. And this is going to be a fun one. Ragefire in the retail sense, super fast, super clean, and a very cool dungeon. It's not as cool, many are going to argue, and honestly, I got to give the Alliance their just dues here. Alliance, you take the point on this one. RFC Ragefire Chasm is not as cool as getting Dead Mines. Dead Mines definitely is cooler, but I believe the drawback or the catch-22 to that is, as Horde players from the Horde side, I think we can get access to our first dungeon sooner in Classic than y'all get into Dead Mines. I think Dead Mines is what, 18 at the earliest, depending. I think it's like 17, 18, but for Horde side, you can go to RFC as early as 14, 15, if my memory is serving me correctly. So I guess it's just a catch, give and a take. Most of us would definitely prefer Dead Mines for our first dungeon, but mine proudly is going to always be RFC.
Speak. Or the Horde.
So the RFC run went phenomenal. Here we are on the cusp, literally a stone's throw away from the pretty much the city entrance of Gilneas. One thing that this area really reminds me of is, I don't know if y'all have played it, maybe some of y'all are too young. I think most of you, based on the channel analytics, is actually not. Most of y'all are around my age and even older, which is very, very cool. But this city reminds me of Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, and I remember as a kid getting to play that game. And I remember just being absolutely mesmerized, but I was young, so some of like the darker tones in the dark areas and some of the enemies in that game scared the living crud out of me, even though I was introduced to like horror films and zombies and all that from completely such an early age. But I'll admit that game spooked me out just a little bit. And what's really cool is that this area, Gilneas, on the pretty much the outer wall of Gilneas, it reminds me a lot of in Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. You stumble upon the final human sanctuary. For those of you that played the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. You stumble upon that area, and it's really, really cool because even as a vampire, there was a hidden faction type of mechanic where if you actually slayed or you killed a human, if you spared them, the remaining humans in that area actually worshipped you and wouldn't attack you. Like even the guards wouldn't attack you. But if you killed one, the game, in the game's coding, it remembers it, and then everybody either runs away or attacks you and whatnot. But it's very cool. Honestly, it was a really, really cool little thing, not Easter egg, but just part of the game that I don't think you had to do either. It was just something that you'd stumble upon. And for me, as a kid, I accidentally had stumbled upon that. Level 39, inshallah, getting there, family. We are on the cusp of 40. I think we can push 40 in this episode. I think we can do it. I'm thinking maybe one more dungeon queue. Hopefully we get a good one, and we get level 40. I think that'd be a cool, sick little way to to cap off the episode as I'm struggling here with the 7th Legion members. It's always the 7th Legion, man. It's always you guys. But I also do like how the Worgen citizens are not actually attacking us. They're not even bothering, which is silly. Because it's like, hey, it's Forsaken. Like, we probably should alert the entire outskirts of the city. Maybe run and, you know, let the mayor know, hey, so the Forsaken decided to send their Mustard Mage to breach our walls. You know what I mean? Just silliness. Pure silliness. But yeah, what little Easter eggs did y'all find as kids or growing up in video games and such? The Legacy of Kain one is immediately the first one that comes to my mind, because it's just something that I distinctly remember I stumbled upon on complete accident. And I'm trying to think, like, what other Easter eggs? Yeah, I miss that about gaming. Like, I think gaming nowadays is hard to... It's easy to appreciate it if you've grown up with it, but like Easter eggs and such, like I can't begin to tell you the last time I played a game that actually had an Easter egg to it. At least a good one that actually makes you feel like, wow, adventuring off of the intended path or the intended story path is you know, you never know what you can find. But it's been a while since I felt like that with any game. I wish more games, modern games, did that, you know, help the player, you know, not help the players, but like get you to want to explore, because you just don't know what you're going to find. It's that hidden element of being a gamer that is just super, super nice. Dude, Scarlet, heck yeah, let's go. Let's go. What a way to end it. What a way to end an episode with a awesome, badass, revamped dungeon. So, Scarlet Monastery, or pretty much Scarlet Monastery, the Missa Pandaria version, which is basically a combination of the graveyard, library, armory, and then your cathedral. You basically do all of Scarlet in one nice little bundled package. What a badass dungeon this is. I love it. Absolutely love this version of Scarlet. You just can't go wrong. 3 well, technically 4 bosses, but 3 in total. 4 if you count what's his name. He's not our legend Mograine. He's just some schmuck. But we do get Thymane, so that's pretty cool. We're gonna see here in a second. This is such a badass dungeon, man. I love this freaking dungeon. Any version of Scarlet I love. And I'm sure many of y'all would agree as well. Scarlet is such a fantastic dungeon. It's iconic. You just can't go wrong. And Blink, yo, shouts to Blink. Now I'm curious if the tank is going to end up trying to pull. Well, I mean, clearly they are. Blizzard is feeling extra good in this dungeon. If you've done, if you're a mage and you've done Scarlet and Classic and any iteration, you know. If you know, you know. Tossing out a few blizzards and frostbolts felt extra clean in this dungeon. You feel like an absolute badass. But this team's rocking it. Taking names. Shoutouts to the Paladin over here too. Pretty sure it's a Holy Paladin. Looking absolute stunning with those shoulder pads, sir. I dig it.
break you! My fists are scarlet with your blood.
Family, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for an episode. Brother Karloff, I'm easily mispronouncing his name. He's, sorry, I can't pronounce his name. But we're about to hit the legendary Mistress Thymane, as well as the imposter Mograine. Not Mograine, but again, so just some random Scarlet schmuck trying to take the place of our boy. Can't serve can't serve a lick of justice, man. But I'm gonna let the rest of this play out the way it is. Give a little bit of concentration. Give myself a little bit of extra concentration here. Thank y'all so much for tuning into episode 5. Next episode, we're gonna hit up it seems like we might be hitting up Gilneas City, and I'm excited for that. Take the fight directly to the Worgen bros. But I'll catch y'all next time. Have a wonderful week. Please be safe. Oh, dude, maybe we can take out maybe we'll take out Thymane without her going into second phase. That's happened before. Do we do enough? Wow, dude. Oh, look at that. Look at that Barb HP. She was so close. She was so close. You can do that. It's happened before. You can do it in Classic too. You can do it in Retail, and I'm pretty sure you can do it in Retail, but you can definitely do it in Classic. If you have enough damage DOT on her, you can actually kill her before second phase. Bismillah. Thymane Inquisitor, everyone's favorite Thymane Inquisitor, is down. The Treon Signet, legend, absolutely legend drop. Level 41, great job team, great job family, Void fam. As always, I'll catch y'all soon. Thanks for tuning in, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.